What's up, everybody? This is not clickbait. I legitimately believe that Kathy Kennedy and Disney Star Wars could learn a thing or two from Kanye West. This has to do with Disney's PR problems, their disconnect with some of their fan base, and the way I think media and brand perception works these days. Overall, I think that Disney just doesn't understand a lot of this stuff. Kanye clearly does, and so I think they could learn a thing or two from him. We're going to get into exactly what they could learn from him, how they could be better. This is going to be a ton of fun. Let's get into it right now. What is up, everybody? My name is Josh for the Den of Nerds, and if you like Star Wars the way I like Star Wars, subscribe to this channel. Unfortunately, if you like Kanye, we really don't talk about Kanye on this channel that much. This is just kind of a one-off for that, but if you like Star Wars, subscribe to the channel. That's what we do here. All right, so let's get into this. I want to start with Kanye West himself. In my opinion, Kanye is an absolute genius at two different but important things. Number one is getting attention. Number two is making great music. Now here I want to put in a slight disclaimer because I do believe that Kanye is sort of off the rails these days, and I think that this model that he has been using, he needs to keep kind of one-upping himself in that model, and that has left him in a place where in order to get the attention he needs, he has to be even more ridiculous than he has ever been. I am not suggesting that Star Wars needs to be ridiculous, but they should learn from the model that he has established. The bottom line here is that Kanye West is completely a genius at getting attention. He says things in the public eye that literally just keep him in a relevant space and make people, whether they're a fan of his or not, consider him, think about him, wonder if he's absolutely insane. In fact, there's a line in one of the songs from Life of Pablo where he literally says, everybody's gonna say something, I'd be worried if they were saying nothing. To me, that was like really insightful, kind of a look into the mind of Kanye, and I legitimately believe that. He causes controversy on purpose in order to gain attention. He is also a genius at making music, and you will find that once Kanye starts being Kanye, getting in the news, causing all of this controversy, you will likely see a good piece of music, maybe an album, something he's produced or something he worked on himself as the artist, and that will come out after the attention has been made online. The model's really simple. Make some noise, get a bunch of attention, then make some dope stuff and get some of the attention to trickle over to that dope stuff. But here's where the real genius comes into this model. It's the fact that it all feels on brand. The brand of Kanye West is that he is a troubled musical genius. All of the things that you would associate with a great artist, including like craziness, a weird temperament, eclectic tastes, ego through the roof. All of those things are epitomized by both the comments that he makes to get his attention and the music that he produces. So you'll often see stuff that Kanye says and it's just like absolutely ridiculous. And there's a part of you that's like, is that what a musical genius would say? I think maybe. And so all of it feels on brand. So despite him saying things that if he was in the political sphere could be very damning, or if he was trying to sell books about self-help might hurt him, he says stuff, but because he's not in any of those markets and he's merely a genius when it comes to music, all of the controversy actually feels on brand for who he is. Then people continue to talk about him and his music comes out and there is this reception to it that also feels on brand. Now, within the music, Kanye experiments a lot. He'll have hits, he'll have misses, but all of it feels on brand with that reach for the sky, absolute musical genius, perfectionist type of a vibe that you get from Kanye. So essentially, he knows how to use the media, play around with the idea of social media, get a bunch of attention, and do all of it while remaining on brand. That's very important. You see, in my opinion, Star Wars does almost the opposite. And I'm talking about Star Wars in its current form. Lucasfilm, Kathy Kennedy, Disney, Star Wars. They have massive public relations problems right now. And the main thing is that the perception of what is happening with Star Wars as a brand is bad. And in the world of branding, perception equals reality. People throw things around like the toxic fan base, a divided fan base. The fact that Disney is political propaganda with their Star Wars films. There's also this perception that they only care about money and that they are bleeding this property to death. I'm not saying any of that is true. I'm saying that that is the popular narrative out there. The media is doing no favors to Lucasfilm because it knows that these kind of things are triggery for people. And so it continues to put stuff out there which will get them attention. It's like the media is out Kanyeing Star Wars in this whole Kanye game, and Star Wars needs to understand why that is happening so that they can take back control of it. It's like Kanye could come out and say something ridiculous, but it feels like something a crazy rap genius, a hip hop genius would say, and then you go to listen to the music and it feels on brand. But when Lucasfilm comes out and says, oh, well, certain parts of our fan base are just racist misogynists, man, that feels pretty off-brand for what Star Wars should be about, and it also ties in to one of the narratives about them being elitist and kind of detached from what the reality of the fan base is. I personally feel like the media is way more political with Star Wars than Star Wars is with its own stuff. But they have to figure out a way to come out and make statements that could get a ton of attention because of the current state that things are in, but will feel on brand. Right now, the opposite is true. They're saying all of this stuff and it's causing controversy, but the controversy is tying into the narratives of them being a disaster and not onto the brand of what Star Wars actually is. And so they could say different things like, look, The Last Jedi was a film that certain people did not like, considering the fact that Star Wars is the greatest film franchise of all time and has suffered controversy in the past. It is no surprise to us here at Lucasfilm. We will continue to make Star Wars films that are absolutely amazing and push the boundaries of narrative mythic storytelling. That's a way to attack the controversy and yet have it feel on brand. When you come out and say things like, oh, certain people just don't like it because they don't like women, that's not on brand. It's feeding into this narrative that the media has established, and that is going to hurt Star Wars in the end. If they came out and said that Star Wars is the most universal place to tell stories that there has ever been, more unites us within this community than anything else, but there have always been stuff aimed at a younger audience, that might be a good way to address some of the things that people have problems with Lucasfilm Star Wars. In my opinion, JJ should be coming out there and talking all sorts of crap, literal crap, about how absolutely dope Episode 9 is going to be. Talk about how this is the modern myth, that they are building something, that you have to see how this ends to appreciate everything that came before it. Don't dodge the criticisms. Don't feed into the things that are out there in the narrative. No, be on brand. Be strong. Represent yourself as the thing that you want to be and that you were up until about a year ago. If Star Wars was bold, if it came out and attacked the controversy head on, but in a way that was on brand and didn't divide or feed into these political narratives, I think that would be a much more successful avenue. You could even create controversy. There are ways to go out there and make new controversies that would feel more on brand than what you have going on. You could say, even with a divided fan base, Star Wars fans are still 10 times better than any fandom that there ever was before. That's actually a way to take these people that are divided and put them together in their love for Star Wars. You know, that'd be one idea. You could address Solo coming in lower than expected and talk about how Star Wars has so many records in the box office, that it's the most profitable franchise of all time. They need to get a little cocky. They need to get a little crazy. They need to get out there and rep their brand. Don't be afraid of the state of the internet. Don't be afraid to talk to YouTubers. Don't be afraid to address some of these people that are being very loud in the fandom. The way that they're offhanded, the way that they ignore things, the way that they don't play the game is killing them right now. And I think they could learn a thing from Kanye West. Kanye understands what media is. He knows exactly what he has to do to get the attention he desires, and he knows how to create that attention in a way that is on brand for the products that he makes. So that is why I think Kathy Kennedy and Lucasfilm could learn from Kanye West, understand modern media a little bit better, and be more on brand. I'm very curious. I want to know what everybody thinks about this in the comment section below. Do you think it's crazy? Do you think I'm maybe onto something? Do you think there's some truth, but this over here didn't make sense? Whatever you are thinking, let me know in the comment section below. Before we get out of here, I need to shout out Playstar, who got the nerd card question correct in my latest Knights of Ren video. You definitely know your stuff when it comes to Star Wars, so shout out to you, Playstar. And we're gonna go ahead and do another nerd card question right now. And the question is, what was the name of the planet that Jyn Erso and her father are hiding on at the beginning of Rogue One? That's right. What was the name of that planet? Answer that question in the comment section below. You can click below to watch more dope videos. You can click our icon to subscribe to get all of our future content. As I always say, I hope you are having an awesome and nerdy day, and I will see you in the next video.